What if Atlantis wasn't a myth, but a real place erased by disaster? An advanced island civilization was destroyed in a single day. Today, we uncover the real location many historians link to Atlantis and why its sudden destruction stunned the ancient world. That place is Santorini, formerly known as Thera. Chapter 1, where the Atlantis story began. Let's rewind over 2,300 years. The entire Atlantis legend comes from one man, the Greek philosopher Plato. In his writings, Plato described Atlantis as a powerful island civilization, rich in resources, advanced in engineering, and dominant at sea. But here's the details most people overlook. Plato said this story wasn't his invention. He claimed it was passed down through generations, preserved as a warning from the past. According to him, Atlantis was destroyed in a single catastrophic event involving earthquakes and floods. One day, one night, gone. For centuries, scholars argued this was just a moral story meant to teach humility. But when you strip away the philosophy and focus on the details, Plato's account reads less like fantasy and more like a distorted memory of a real disaster that ancient people never forgot. Chapter 2. Santorini, before disaster struck. Now let's travel to the Aegean Sea, to an island we now call Santorini, once known as Thera. Thousands of years ago, this island was home to the Minoans, one of the most advanced civilizations of the ancient world. These people lived in multi-story buildings, used indoor plumbing, and created detailed wall paintings that still amaze historians today. They weren't isolated either. They traded across the Mediterranean, moving goods, ideas, and culture far beyond their island. This was a wealthy, organized, and technologically impressive society, exactly the kind Plato described. When archaeologists uncovered the buried city of Akrotiri beneath layers of volcanic ash, it became clear this wasn't a primitive settlement. It was a thriving urban center, frozen in time, waiting to be rediscovered. Chapter 3. The eruption that changed history. Around 1600 before the Common Era, Santorini experienced one of the most powerful volcanic eruptions ever witnessed by humanity. The explosion was massive, so violent that the center of the island collapsed inward, forming the sea-filled crater we see today. Entire cities were buried instantly under thick layers of ash. The eruption triggered massive tsunamis that slammed coastlines across the Aegean, destroying ports and coastal settlements. The sky darkened, crops failed, and chaos spread across the region. This wasn't a slow decline, it was sudden and devastating. Plato described Atlantis as being destroyed in one terrible day and night. That exact phrasing mirrors what geology tells us happened here. This wasn't imagination, it was trauma, preserved through storytelling over centuries. Chapter 4. The Fall of a Powerful Civilization. After the eruption, the Minoans were never the same. Their ports were destroyed, their ships lost, and their trade networks shattered. Without naval power, their influence faded quickly, and within a few generations, other civilizations rose to take their place. Yet the story of the Minoans did not disappear. Survivors carried memories of a powerful island destroyed by nature. Over time, these memories transformed, details blurred, and the advanced society became legendary. The disaster turned symbolic. This is how history slowly becomes myth. Atlantis was not forgotten. It was reshaped through memory and storytelling. What remained was not a record of events, but a warning about power, pride, and the fragility of civilization. Even the greatest achievements can vanish when nature strikes without mercy, leaving only stories to echo through the centuries. Chapter 5. Why Plato's description fits Santorini. When comparing Plato's Atlantis to Santorini, the similarities are striking. Atlantis was described as an advanced island civilization, wealthy, powerful, and suddenly destroyed by a natural disaster. Santorini fits every aspect. The eruption reshaped the island into circular rings of land and water, closely resembling Plato's description. Critics argue that Plato exaggerated, but ancient storytellers preserved meaning more than literal facts. Atlantis was never meant to be found on a map. It was a memory transformed into a lesson. Archaeology, geology, and historical texts all align, making coincidence unlikely. Plato's account may not be exact, but it is rooted in real events. Santorini's ruins, with their advanced urban planning, multi-story buildings, plumbing, and art, support the theory that Atlantis was inspired by a real civilization destroyed by catastrophe centuries ago. Chapter 6. Atlantis was buried, not lost. The greatest misconception about Atlantis is that it vanished beneath the ocean. It was buried. The city of Akrotiri survived under volcanic ash, much like Pompeii centuries later. Homes, streets, tools, and artwork remained remarkably intact because the ash sealed everything in place. Archaeologists continue to make discoveries that reveal just how advanced this civilization was. Atlantis did not disappear because it was imaginary. It disappeared because nature erased it in an instant. Only now are we rediscovering the truth, hidden beneath layers of ash and centuries of myth. The legend endured because the destruction was unforgettable. Even when the facts faded, memory preserved the story. Atlantis teaches that civilizations, no matter how advanced, are vulnerable to sudden catastrophe, and that myths often preserve real history for future generations. Chapter 7. Why legends always contain truth. Ancient civilizations did not explain disasters with science. They explained them with stories. When something unimaginable happened, they turned it into a legend to ensure it was remembered. Atlantis is one of these stories. At its core, it is fear, loss, survival, and warning. No civilization, however advanced, is invincible, and no technology can guarantee safety. When myths are dismissed entirely, we risk ignoring real history hidden within them. Atlantis is not about magic or fantasy. It is about memory preserved across generations. Santorini proves that legends exist to teach lessons. They warn us of past events and what could happen again. Long before written history, myths served as humanity's memory system, passing knowledge of danger forward and reminding us that nature always holds ultimate power over human ambition. So, was Atlantis a myth or history buried by time? If you want more real stories hidden inside ancient legends, subscribe, like, and stay curious.